In round 7, we'll be working 2 single crochet decreases, followed by 10 single crochets, for a total of 12 stitches. Let's begin by chaining 1 as our turning stitch. For the first decrease, insert your hook under the front loop, the loop closest to you of the stitch created by the slip stitch in the previous round. Then, insert your hook under the front loop of the next stitch. Titch. Yarn over by bringing the yarn under your left middle finger and thumb, and pull through the first 2 loops on your hook. Now, yarn over again, and pull through the final 2 loops. That completes our first single crochet decrease. Let's go through it again for our second decrease. Insert your hook under the front loop of each of the next 2 stitches. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over again, and pull through the remaining 2 loops. This completes our second single crochet decrease. Next, we'll move on to work 9 single crochets. For each single crochet, insert your hook under both loops of the next stitch. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over again, and pull through both loops on the hook. Repeat this process for a total of 9 single crochets. Once we've completed these stitches, we should have 11 stitches in total so far. Since we're changing colors in the next round, we'll begin the color change on this final stitch of the round. To do this, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over with the brown yarn, and pull up a loop so you have 2 brown loops on your hook. Stop here without finishing the stitch, as we're about to switch to the white yarn. Now, grab your white yarn and position it behind your hook. If the brown loops on your hook feel loose, gently pull the brown yarn to adjust them until they're snug. Hold both the brown and white strands together to keep them stable. Once you're ready, yarn over with the white yarn and pull it through the 2 brown loops on your hook to complete the color change. At this point, your working yarn should now be the white yarn, ready for the next round. Finally, let's count our stitches. We should have a total of 12. If that's correct, join the round with a slip stitch at the stitch marker to complete this round. And that's it. Nice job! Since we won't be using the brown yarn anymore, you can take your scissors, trim the brown yarn, and tuck the tail end inside the head, keeping everything neat for the next steps. Now for round 8. Let's start with a chain stitch as our turning chain. We'll be doing a single decrease stitch followed by 10 single crochet stitches, giving us a total of 11 stitches in this round. To create the decrease stitch, insert your hook into the front loop of the next 2 stitches. These are the loops closest to you. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again and pull through the remaining 2 loops. That's our first single crochet decrease for this round. Next, we'll mark our current position with a stitch marker so we don't lose track. Now, let's continue by crocheting 10 single stitches in a row. Once we've completed those, we should have exactly 11 stitches in this round. Go ahead and count to confirm. And if it's correct, connect this round back to the stitch marker with a slip stitch to finish round 8. Alright, on to round 9. In this round, we'll do 1 single crochet decrease, and then 9 single stitches, for a total of 10 stitches. Start with a chain stitch as the turning chain. Before we continue, let's pause and take a look at our work. The head of our dachshund is starting to take shape. At this point, we can add the eyes if you'd like. To do this, grab your sewing needle and decide where to place the eyes. A good spot is 3 rounds up from the last round with the white yarn, but feel free to adjust the position to your liking. Select the eyepieces from your accessory kit, confirm your chosen location, and push each eye into place. Then, from inside the head, attach the backings to secure the eyes firmly so they won't move around. Let's go on. Use the crochet hooktail to insert the filling material. Since we already made the turning chain, let's proceed with the single crochet decrease. Insert your hook into the front loop of each of the next 2 stitches. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. Then yarn over again and pull through the final 2 loops. That completes the decrease stitch. Now we'll crochet 9 single stitches in a row to finish this round. Once you're done, check your stitch count. It should be 10. If all looks good, connect back to the stitch marker with a slip stitch to close round 9. Now for round 10, we'll be working 1 single crochet decrease, followed by 8 single crochets, giving us a total of 9 stitches in this round. Start with a chain stitch as our turning chain. To make the decrease, insert your hook into the front loop of the next 2 stitches, which are the loops closest to you. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, then yarn over again and pull through the last 2 loops. That completes our decrease for this round. Next, continue by making 8 single crochets, 1 in each of the following stitches. When you finish, you should have a total of 9 stitches for this round. Go ahead and count them to confirm. If everything checks out, connect back to the stitch marker with a slip stitch to close round 10. Now let's move on to round 11. In this round, we'll do 1 single crochet decrease and then 7 single crochets, for a total of 8 stitches. Start again with a chain stitch as the turning chain. For the decrease, insert your hook into the front loop of each of the next 2 stitches. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over once more, and pull through the final 2 loops to complete the decrease. After the decrease, go ahead and crochet 5 single stitches, 1 in each stitch. Now, before we work the final single crochet of this round, let's set our hook down and add more stuffing to the head. This time, you can fill it a bit more firmly to give it a nice shape. You may find that a fuller stuffing adds more structure and looks better overall. Once the stuffing is in place, pick up your hook again and work the final single crochet of this round. Since we'll be switching to black yarn in the next round, we'll use this stitch to change colors. Here's how. Insert your hook into the stitch and pull up a loop of white yarn, so you have 2 white loops on the hook. Set down your work for a moment and pick up your black yarn. Hold the black yarn behind your hook with your left hand, along with the white yarn to keep everything steady. Yarn over with the black yarn and pull it through both loops on the hook to complete the color change. Now, the loop on your hook should be black. After finishing this round, you should have a total of 8 stitches. Count them to make sure, and if everything's correct, connect back to the stitch marker with a slip stitch to close round 11. For round 12, we'll be finishing up the head. In this round, we'll work 4 single crochet decreases, which will leave us with a total of 4 stitches. Start with a chain stitch as your turning chain. Since we won't be using the white yarn anymore, go ahead and take your scissors and cut the white yarn, leaving a small tail. Now with the tail end, use the back of your crochet hook to gently tuck it inside the dachshund's head, keeping it out of sight for a clean finish. Once everything is in place, pick up your crochet hook again, insert it into the loop, and get ready to start the first single crochet decrease of round 12. To create each decrease, insert your hook into the front loop of the next 2 stitches, which are the parts of the loops closest to your body. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over again, and pull through the last 2 loops. That completes the first decrease for this round. Now, Repeat this decrease 3 more times, each time working into the front loops of the next 2 stitches. After finishing all 4 decreases, check to make sure you have a total of 4 stitches in this round. If the stitch count is correct, connect back to the stitch marker with a slip stitch to close the round. Now, make one final chain stitch to secure everything, and then cut the yarn, leaving a small tail. To finish up, thread the extra black yarn tail onto a tapestry needle. Insert the needle into the head, gently pulling the tail inside to hide it. Cut the black yarn, leaving a small tail. Then, take the tail end and weave it gently into the head, tucking it inside the dachshund's head to keep it secure and hidden. Congratulations! The head of your long-necked dachshund is now complete.